As people enter their 70s, many begin to notice changes in their relationships, even with their closest loved ones. These separations are not always due to any intentional actions, but may result from subtle factors and changes in how life, health, and communication are perceived. In this article, we will explore 6 common reasons why older adults may feel lonely or abandoned, even by their own families. However, this article does not stop there. It will also provide effective ways to prevent this situation, helping to maintain strong and loving relationships in the family, no matter your age. From health changes, dependence on others, to difficulties in maintaining social connections, we will explore and provide solutions to help you overcome these challenges, maintain connections, and never feel alone in your later years. 1. Neglecting personal growth. The importance of continuing to learn and engage with the world around you as you age. As we age, our bodies can no longer maintain the flexibility and stamina they once had. However, personal growth mentally, emotionally, and socially plays a vital role in keeping relationships and life itself vibrant. Without continuing to grow and seeking new opportunities to learn, older adults may become less interesting and more distant, leading to loneliness and detachment from loved ones. The importance of personal growth. Personal growth is not just limited to learning a new skill or reading an interesting book, but also includes maintaining an open mind, always ready to accept new ideas and perspectives. When a person continues to develop themselves, they become more attractive in the eyes of others because they always have interesting topics to share, always ask questions, and seek deeper understanding of the world around them. One of the key factors in maintaining long-term relationships is the ability to connect and share with others. Conversations with people who are always trying to learn, curious about the world around them, feel exciting and refreshing. In contrast, when someone only dwells on stories from the past, constantly repeating old memories or unable to accept new things, conversations become dull and less engaging. Over time, this makes people feel weary and begin to distance themselves. The impact of stopping growth. When a person stops actively developing themselves, they may feel lonely and left behind in a constantly changing world. People often seek relationships that offer challenges, novelty, and a sense of growth. A person who stops learning loses the ability to keep up with younger individuals, becoming unable to interact with new trends or societal changes. This can make relationships one-sided, enduring only out of obligation or habit, lacking deep connection and dynamic communication. How to maintain personal growth in older age. It is never too late to start learning and growing. In fact, maintaining curiosity and seeking new opportunities is a key factor in helping us feel alive and enthusiastic. Try finding a new hobby, reading books about fields you have never explored, or participating in social activities to connect with like-minded people. These small changes will not only help you stay mentally active, but also help you maintain lasting relationships. Moreover, engaging in activities such as learning a new language, trying out technology, or joining community clubs are great ways to keep your spirit fresh. This will not only help you stay connected with those around you, but also make your life richer, avoiding feelings of loneliness or isolation. 2. Becoming too negative or frequently complaining. The impact and how to overcome it. In life, everyone faces challenges and difficulties. However, if a person constantly complains and views everything through a negative lens, this can make those around them feel exhausted and gradually avoid them. Maintaining a negative attitude not only diminishes the quality of relationships, but also affects the bond and connection between you and your loved ones. The impact of negativity and complaining. You've probably experienced the exhaustion of interacting with someone who is always critical and complaining. Conversations with negative people often make us feel heavy, sad, and drained. When every conversation revolves around negative topics, such as health issues, social problems, or recent changes, the listener can easily lose interest. Over time, these individuals will feel less inclined to interact, leading to a breakdown in relationships. In fact, excessive complaining not only tires others, but also burdens them with the negative emotions you bring. As a result, they will gradually distance themselves, as no one wants to be around someone who always views life through a gloomy lens. How to change your mindset and become more interesting. To improve the situation, The first step is to change your mindset. Instead of focusing on the negative, cultivate the habit of looking for the good in life. Focusing on gratitude will help you feel happier and more appreciative of what you have. Take time to think about positive things every day, from small gestures like a call from a friend to bigger things like health or meaningful relationships. Additionally, curiosity is a key factor in becoming more interesting in the eyes of others. When you show interest in the world around you, explore new issues, or discover new hobbies, you'll easily attract attention and create engaging conversations. People with an open mind and a willingness to learn will always create positive energy, making others want to be near and communicate with them. 3. Neglecting relationships. Why and how to maintain connections. In life, we all know that relationships need to be nurtured and maintained to avoid fading over time. However, as people age, many begin to neglect the care of their relationships, which can make them feel lonely or abandoned. In fact, relationships that are not nurtured regularly will gradually lose their value, diminishing the connection and affection between individuals. The impact of neglecting relationships. When you fail to reach out or plan to meet others, they will feel that they are no longer important to you. Small gestures like a text to check in, a simple call, or even an invitation to meet can help maintain a lasting relationship. If you always expect others to be the ones to initiate contact or plan, the relationship may become one-sided. This not only makes you feel isolated, but also makes others feel neglected and uncared for. Any relationship requires effort from both sides. When one person doesn't put in the effort to maintain the connection, the other will feel like they're the only one who cares about the relationship. This feeling can lead them to gradually withdraw, feel disappointed, and eventually the relationship will become weaker. How to maintain a strong relationship. To maintain a long-term relationship, you need to be proactive. This doesn't mean you have to spend a whole day calling or meeting up, but small gestures like a simple check-in, a congratulatory message, or even a brief meeting can strengthen affection. Don't wait for others to always be the ones to start things. Take the initiative yourself to create opportunities to connect. An important part of maintaining a relationship is listening and sharing. Take time to care about the emotions, needs, and thoughts of others. Relationships are not just about conversations. They are also about understanding and empathy. When you show genuine care and proactively connect, the relationship will become more meaningful and long-lasting. 4. Refusing to change. Why it can push you away from relationships and how to change. In modern society, change is inevitable. Technology, social trends, and even communication methods are rapidly evolving. However, some people, especially as they grow older, may find it difficult to accept and adapt to these changes. They may react negatively to new ideas, modern technology, or differing viewpoints, leading to distance in relationships. Resistance to change can create distance. When you refuse to embrace new ideas, resist trying new technologies, or ignore social changes, it can make it hard for others to communicate and connect with you. They might feel you don't understand their perspectives or aren't interested in what's going on around you. This can create an invisible gap between you and those around you, making relationships feel strained or gradually fading. A prime example is refusing to use new technologies like smartphones, social media, or online applications. If you resist change and don't want to learn how to use these tools, you will gradually be left behind, especially by younger generations. Conversations and connections can become more difficult because these younger generations are accustomed to communicating through digital means, while you remain detached from that development. How to maintain sustainable relationships. Maintaining an open and flexible mindset is key to keeping meaningful relationships. This doesn't mean you have to completely change yourself or accept every new thing. However, being willing to try new things and embrace changes will help you integrate with the world around you and make it easier to communicate with others. One way to maintain flexibility is to always ask questions and show curiosity. Try learning new things, even if you don't fully understand them. You don't need to fully grasp new technologies or trends, but showing interest will make others feel that you're keeping up and still care about them. Moreover, staying open to different perspectives and new approaches to life is very important. When you don't resist change, you not only create opportunities to connect with others, but also develop yourself. create interesting conversations, and nurture relationships. 5. Becoming too dependent on others. Why it can ruin relationships and how to create balance. In any relationship, support and help from others are essential. However, when you become overly dependent on others, it can cause strain and create a burden on the relationship. Failing to show appreciation for what others do for you or not reciprocating support can make relationships unbalanced and gradually fade away. Why being too dependent is a problem. When you depend too much on others, you may unintentionally create an imbalance in the relationship. Those you depend on may feel tired or overwhelmed from constantly providing support without receiving anything in return. This not only causes stress for them, but also diminishes the value of the relationship, as the support no longer feels like an equal exchange. A common example is when a person always turns to friends or family for help in difficult situations, but doesn't show appreciation or is unwilling to help them when they need it. If you only take and never give, this dependency can make the relationship unsustainable, and gradually, those around you will feel exhausted and distant. How to create balance in relationships. It is important to maintain independence while still being able to ask for help when needed. A healthy relationship requires exchange, sharing, and support from both sides. You shouldn't hesitate to ask for help, but you must also show gratitude and reciprocate the support you receive. Saying thank you and showing appreciation not only helps maintain relationships, but also makes you more trustworthy and approachable. Additionally, maintaining independence in your personal life is crucial. You should develop the ability to solve problems on your own and seek support from others only when absolutely necessary. This not only helps alleviate the burden on others, but also enables you to build self-reliance and confidence in your life. 6. Holding grudges and refuse and forgive. The negative impact on relationships and the benefits of forgiveness. In life, conflicts and disagreements with others are unavoidable. However, if you cannot forgive and continue to hold on to grudges, this will seriously affect your relationships. When old grievances are left unresolved and repeatedly brought up, they create a wall between you and others, making the relationship tense and difficult to maintain. Why grudges have a negative impact. Holding a grudge is a heavy and negative emotion that prevents you from being open and comfortable with others. When you hold on to anger or dissatisfaction, these feelings not only affect you, but also harm those around you. They can sense the tension and distance in the relationship, which may lead them to avoid you. Furthermore, holding on to grudges and refuse and forgive keeps you stuck in the past, unable to move forward. Unresolved conflicts will continue to haunt you, preventing you from enjoying life or forming new relationships. Your mind and heart will be dominated by old grudges rather than opening up opportunities for reconciliation and progress. The benefits of forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean agreeing with someone else's wrongdoing, but rather choosing not to let negative emotions control your life. Forgiveness helps you release the burden of grudges, bringing peace and relief to your soul. When you forgive, you not only allow the other person to feel forgiven, but you also create an opportunity for the relationship to be renewed and grow stronger. Forgiveness also helps you mature in your relationships. You learn to view situations more objectively and resolve conflicts rather than allowing them to control your emotions and actions. It creates a conducive environment for both sides to understand each other better, rebuild trust, and thereby strengthen the relationship. Conclusion. The video emphasizes that while aging may bring challenges and difficulties, many negative behaviors and habits we encounter can be managed. Small changes in how we live and care for our relationships can help maintain meaningful connections throughout our lives. Keeping an open mind, actively learning, and maintaining positivity in communication will not only improve the quality of life, but also help create lasting relationships. Most importantly, caring for relationships and resolving conflicts amicably will prevent you from feeling lonely or isolated as you grow older, and instead, allow you to enjoy a connected and meaningful life.